He was just a homeless kid, skinny, quiet, invisible to the world. No one knew his name, no one cared to ask. But on one freezing night, when 3 gunshots echoed across the alley, that same forgotten boy threw himself in front of a biker's only child, saving her life. What happened next didn't just change his future, it changed an entire community. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why every single person who witnessed what followed couldn't hold back their tears. Rain hammered the concrete like it was trying to erase the entire city. 12-year-old Eli pressed his back against the wall behind a convenience store, hugging his thin jacket tighter. Nights like these were the worst, cold, loud, and lonely. Most people passed Eli without noticing him, like he was part of the shadows. He'd been living on the streets for almost 3 years, ever since his mom disappeared and his dad ended up in jail. No family, no home, no help, just Eli and the streets. But there was one place where he felt a little less invisible: the old motorcycle shop at the corner of Ridgeline Street. Loud engines, scraping metal, tattoos everywhere, a world that should have scared him. And yet it didn't. That shop belonged to Jackson Steele, a massive biker with arms like tree trunks and a beard that could probably hide a small animal. He looked terrifying until you saw him with his daughter Mia, 10 years old. Bright eyes, a laugh that even the coldest days couldn't quiet. She always brought Eli leftover sandwiches, sometimes a spare blanket, and most importantly, talked to him like he mattered. "Dad says you're tougher than half the guys in his club," she'd tease. "You're like undercover hero tough." Lee would shrug, hiding his smile, but deep down he liked the idea of being someone's hero, even if just for a moment. One night, as Eli sat behind the shop to escape the rain, he overheard raised voices out front. Jackson, and a group of men he clearly wasn't happy to see. Something about money, something about threats, something about taking care of problems. Ellie's chest tightened. He didn't want trouble, didn't want to hear things that could get him hurt, but fate doesn't ask permission. The next day, the storm clouds were gone, but something heavy still hung in the air. Mia arrived at the shop after school, skipping as always. Eli shyly waved from across the alley. That's when Eli saw it. A black SUV creeping around the corner, windows dark, engine idling too slowly, like it was hunting. Before he could react, the window rolled down. A gun appeared, time froze, a deafening crack split the air, then another, and another. Eli didn't think, didn't hesitate, didn't look back, he ran. He threw himself forward, crashing into Mia, shielding her tiny body with his own. Her scream was swallowed by the gunfire. Eli felt the bullets hit his shoulder, his side, his back. The pain was blinding, hot, unstoppable. He collapsed on top of her, breath shuddering, vision fading. "Eli, stay with me," Mia sobbed beneath him. Jackson tore out of the shop, saw the blood, saw his daughter, saw the boy who had nothing, give everything. "Call an ambulance," Jackson roared. His voice cracked, he dropped to his knees. "Eli, don't you die on us, do you hear me? Don't you dare." Tried to speak, but only a whisper came. "Is Mia okay?" Then everything went black. Hospitals smelled like bleach and fear, and Jackson Steele paced the waiting room like a storm barely held back. His leather vest was splattered with Eli's blood. Mia clung to his waist, silent, trembling. Hours crawled by. Finally, the surgeon stepped out. 3 bullets, a collapsed lung, massive blood loss, but he fought hard. He's alive. Mia burst into tears. Jackson felt his knees nearly give out, but the doctor wasn't done. "He keeps asking if the little girl is safe." Swallowed hard. This kid, this homeless kid, had nearly died protecting the only thing that mattered most in the biker's life. When Eli finally opened his eyes, the room was blurry, quiet. For a moment, he didn't know where he was. Then he heard sniffles. Mia was sitting beside him, holding his hand like she never wanted to let go. She whispered. Jackson stood behind her, but he wasn't the same man Eli remembered. The gruffness was gone. The hardness had melted. His eyes were red. "You saved my daughter," Jackson said, voice breaking. "You saved my world, and nobody has ever done something like that for us." Eli tried to sit up, but pain shot through him. "You don't owe me anything," he said weakly. Jackson leaned closer. "Kid, you listen to me." His voice trembled. "You're not going back to the streets. Ever." Blinked. "You're coming home with us," Jackson said. "If you'll let us, I want you to be part of our family." Mia squeezed Eli's hand. "We already love you, dummy," she whispered through tears. The days that followed spread like wildfire through the entire biker community. Hardened men who never cried found themselves wiping their eyes hearing about the boy who took bullets for a child he barely knew. They visited him with gifts, food, clothes, toys, a custom leather jacket with his name stitched on the back, Eli Heartshot Steel. The nickname stuck, but what meant the most was this. Eli finally had a home, a bed, a family warmth. Safety, love. One night weeks later, Eli sat on Jackson's porch watching the sunset. He thought about the alley where he used to sleep, the cold nights, the loneliness. Then Mia sat beside him, leaning her head on his shoulder. "You know," she said softly, "you really are undercover hero tough." Smiled for real this time. Maybe he wasn't invisible after all. Maybe he was meant for more. And as the porch light flickered on, painting the world in soft orange glow, Eli realized something he'd never believed before. Sometimes a single act of bravery doesn't just save someone else, it saves you too.